Hey guys, it's me, it's Emily Owens again. So this week's video is gonna be about dealing with the distance, no matter what type of distance it is. Like if it was just through boot camp or basic training or A school. I know some people have C school, so I mean it just depends like what branch you are, what job you're gonna do. Um, Either way, this week's video is about distance and how I dealt with that in my personal relationship and if I have any advice for you guys. So, let's go ahead and get started. Um, Nathan and I, like I said in my first video, Nathan and I have been together for either almost 4 years or almost 5 years. But I just got out of work, so I'm a bit tired and I'm a bit too lazy to do any type of math or work right now. But I think it's almost 5 years. And our wedding, like I said, is June 19th, 2015. Um, so it's coming up in like 9 months. It's exciting. And he has been gone the vast majority of our entire relationship. I broke up with him twice in high school. One was because of a traumatizing event that happened to me. That I'm still kind of dealing with now, but so it wasn't fair to Nathan, so I broke up with him that time, and then the second time I broke up with him, like there was so much love there that like we just couldn't stop arguing. If that makes sense to anyone, please leave a comment because it's hard to explain. Like there was so much love in between us, but we couldn't stop stressing out or like smothering each other, I guess. And then I got mono because he's a carrier of mono. And so I got sick and I was misdiagnosed for 8 weeks. And then his mom and dad grounded him from seeing me because apparently I would get him sick, even though for 8 weeks that I had mono, I was kissing him and he didn't get sick because he's the carrier. Um, so we broke up when I had mono because we couldn't see each other and stuff. So like there was like only like a tiny bit of distance there, and we couldn't handle it. So it was really scary when he left for boot camp right before my senior year started in 2013 or 2012, I believe, because I graduated in 13. So yeah, 2012. And he left in August. School started in September, and so I tried to do things to like make it feel like he wasn't gone. Like I stayed super 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 busy with like after school activities, drama, theater, stuff like that. But to be completely honest, I was scared to death, and I know that he was too because of how we dealt with it like 2 years before. And it it was terrifying, and his division wouldn't learn to like trust each other and work together, so they actually weren't allowed to send any letters for the first month that they were in boot camp. And so that was heartbreaking each day that I didn't get a letter. Eventually their CO of like MAs, eventually their CO started sending letters behind their petty officers back, and so they were sneaking letters out to us, and so that was really nice. So then I got like 17 letters all at once, and that was great. But the first letter, every other line, like I've got this cool little binder that I made when he was gone. I mean, it's got like all these letters and stuff and pictures and things that happened like the first time that he came home and graduation and crap. And every other line of that first letter that I got was, "Are you cheating on me?" in some different form. Are you being faithful? Have you found someone else? I'm not gonna mind. I just want you to be honest with me so we can work through it. And yeah, it was crazy. And the real test was if I actually did show up to his boot camp graduation or not. And I was kind of mean because I never told him that if I was going to or not. I just kind of kept that to myself and his family. And so I took school off and I went to his graduation, and he was in marching band in high school, so I was used to like the hats and everything, not being able to see the faces. His division walked in. I found him in like 0.5 seconds. I kid you not. Like, I found him immediately because of his adorable little rosy cheeks that he's got and his nerdy navy glasses that they give everyone with glasses now. And he didn't see me until the whole thing was over. So that's like 2 hours later. So, yeah, he dealt with it a bit worse than I did. But then again, gas chambers and boot camps and 5 hours of sleep and whatever else. Well, now, let's just skip forward because I've been blabbering on about that nonsense. So, moving on to like present day, he's down in Mayport, Florida, and I am here in Grand Haven, Michigan, and I work at the Grand Haven Culvers. So they're amazing. I love my staff. I love working there. And I'm planning a wedding pretty much alone. How do I deal with it now? That's a good question. I don't deal with it very well now. Like, if he gets really busy or something, like, and we don't get a chance to like have like an actual conversation, like, like a 15-minute conversation about like just actual life, then I don't deal with it well. I stress out, and I start being really mean to him. Not like abusive mean or anything, but like short with him. Like short answers and an attitude, and I get like that with him now, and I don't really know why. I mean, like, this major thing happened Wednesday in my life. For 2 years, I've been dealing with chronic leg pain and permanent nerve damage in my right leg and in my right knee. And we had no answers and no painkillers and no crutches, and it hurt at a constant like 9 every single day. I almost went through with amputating my leg because we had no answers, but I went to pain clinic this past Wednesday, and not only did I finally get diagnosed with something, I have a treatment plan. And I got diagnosed with reflex sympathetic dystrophy. So it's like phantom pains, and your mind doesn't think that past injuries ever healed, so your blood vessels are kind of like cringing up and they aren't letting the blood through or anything, and it's excruciating. And so I had my first injection in my back in between my L2 and L3 on Wednesday, and I'm not in pain right now. I will be soon because the injection's going to wear off. I have to get it again every week, but I'll talk more about that in later videos, as I get a better treatment plan. But this huge thing happened Wednesday, and we haven't had the time to talk about it at all. So I'm being short with them and stuff, and it sucks because I don't like being like that with them, but, over half the time, like 75% of the time, I feel like I'm in a relationship with myself. Like, I've got my wedding dress, I've got the wedding planned out, but do I really feel like he's going to be standing at the end of the altar, or at the altar, on June 19th? Sometimes. I mean, it's hard to process the fact that I'm doing everything alone. I mean, like, everything here alone, and that, he's going to show up and marry me and take me away, and we won't have to deal with this very often. But I'm sure a lot of people don't deal with this well, because dealing with distance sucks. Like, I think I said this in my first video, but it's always going to be Nathan and the military, and then Emily. I'm always going to be the mistress. It's always going to be the Navy first. Like, it always has been. And I respect him a lot for how much respect he's got for his job and his job title and the fact that he's a government worker and everything. But it just really sucks. It hurts. I have a past of self-harm in any way. Any physically self-harming, life destruction thing that you can think of, I have done to myself and to my body. And it's really hard not to relapse into that sometimes. I've been clean a couple months now. I was almost clean for 3 years, but something happened, and that had to do with the distance, actually, and kind of killed that. been clean a couple months now, and I just don't deal with it well. You know, I'm on anti-anxieties and antidepressants and stuff, and they can medicate me as much as they want, but it's never gonna change the fact that I go to bed and, you know, he's just not in the same state. And we wouldn't be living together even if he was, because of, you know, religion and morals and stuff. So we wouldn't be living together anyways, but there's just a huge difference in my mind of having him in Florida and having him here in Michigan with me. Like, I sleep better if he's here. And I have a lot of sleeping problems. I just sleep better because, you know, he's here. He's safe for the time being, at least. And I don't know if this video is going to be helpful to anyone because, like I said, I literally just got out of work and got home to make this. And I've just kind of been rambling and repeating that the distance sucks, because it does. Let's real quick go through some helpful tips. If you are in high school, and particularly in high school, and maybe even some colleges, and in some colleges, do extracurricular activities. Science club, math club. I mean, I was in 3 different choirs. And I have a violin, so I didn't do that like after school because I quit in 8th grade, but I do have it. So I picked my violin back up, and I know how to play the piano. That's just 5 things there for me. Just stay busy. Don't sit at home wondering what he or she is doing. Don't sit there worrying, because, you know, they signed up for this. They signed up for this job and the difficulties that come with it, and you should not have to go through the difficulties with them. Like, that sounds weird because you do go through it with them, but you don't physically need to drag yourself through it with them. You just need to be there to support them. And to be the biggest support group is the one thing that I would say. Just be his or her, just be your SO's cheerleader. Everybody else is going to be yelling at him and telling him no and blah blah blah, and you just tell him yes. You tell him that it's okay, that they're going to do it and make it, and just support them no matter what they do. Because as hard as distance is on us, you've got to remember they're dealing with it too. It doesn't make it, it's a two-way street of a lot of hurt feelings and everything, and you just got to remember that they're human too. So don't get short with your SO like I do. Trust them, love them, support them. Don't get short with them, because I'm working on that. But I hope this has been helpful to somebody. I don't know if this makes any sense. I'm probably going to look back on this in like an hour and be like, oh my god, why did I post that? But here you go. This week's video for the Milso YouTube channel. And please leave a like or leave some comments about what you'd like to hear me ramble about next week. If you leave comments, I can only improve my videos from where they're at now. So, go ask to join the group Milso Support. The cover photo is, I believe it's a dog tag right now that says love. Thank you, Sarah Kirkman, for changing that. And go ask to join the group if you're not already part of it, because it's a great place. Alright, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next week.